Last year, I didn't get a chance to photograph as much as I wanted to. I used to go out at least once a week to do some street photography on my own, just as a hobby to practice my craft. This past year, I didn't even get a chance to do that. I maybe went out 5 to 6 times the entire year, and I really want to change that for the upcoming year. One of the things that I'm going to be doing to increase the likelihood of me going out is that I'm going to prepare a street photography kit that is made just for that, just so that I can grab my bag on a whim and then head out the door. Street photography to me is one of the more important ways to photograph because it really teaches you how to use your gear in many various situations, whether it's cloudy, whether it's sunny outside, or if it's raining. You get access to the randomness that can happen when you're out on a photo shoot. Starting with the bag itself, working our way inside. So first thing that you'll notice here is that I have a NOMATIC Peter McKinnon 8-liter bag. I got this bag because I have the entire Peter McKinnon NOMATIC kit, and I just wanted everything to look cohesive so that when I'm traveling, I have bags that look similar, and it's a vibe. Plus, they're incredibly durable bags and very functional. So not only do they look great, but they actually are great bags as a whole. The material is incredibly tough and durable. I've had this bag for about 2 years now. The zippers are weather resistant, and just the entire bag and build is of high quality. What you'll notice outside of the bag is some clips here that I've attached a PGYTECH MANTISPOD. I don't know what MANTISPOD they're on right now, but this is just a mini tripod that has a hook at the end of it, and it can be mounted and attached to various different things. The tripod itself is pretty sturdy and durable. And what I like about it the best and why it's so versatile to me is because it can serve as a selfie stick if needed. I could reach out and use it as a selfie stick for some extra length if needed. It also has different positions for height, so it could be up like this or it could be down to lay down more flat. But one of my favorite things about it really is that it accepts Arca Swiss base plates, which is incredibly important if you're a photographer so that you can have some universal applications for it. So small rig cages have Arca Swiss base plates, and you can attach it onto here. It's just a fantastic little tripod that has a lot of use, and it's small. The bag itself allows you to carry a much larger tripod if you wanted to, but when it comes to street photography, remember this is just a street photography kit. I've never really used a full-size tripod for any of my photography, and I don't catch myself doing like any long exposures or anything like that, at least not yet. But the beautiful part about this bag is that you can strap a full-size tripod to the bottom of it in the exact same fashion that this was strapped onto it down here at the bottom. One thing about this bag to remember is that these straps were actually sold separately, so they don't come by default with the bag, which is one thing that kind of bothers me. If you're gonna give me the straps, I believe that you should have 2 versions of the bag. One that has the optional straps included for X amount of dollars extra, and then a version that doesn't have it at all. And I don't think that that's the case. Just something to think about, NOMATIC. Because selling them separately seems kind of like a cash grab, and I know some people may not use them and may not need them, but that's why I would suggest offering 2 versions of the bag for sale, one with the straps and one without the straps. Okay, so that's the NOMATIC bag. On the outside, there aren't any pockets with the exception of a strap over here. like a handle strap, and I think this is also used to go on the back of a extended handle that you take on a plane. So like a carry-on bag, this will loop into that thing. I'm pretty sure that's what that's for. Then there's this little latch right here for the elastic band to keep the bag shut. On the actual strap of the bag, I have a Peak Design clip that I have the base plate attached to my camera, and that goes on the strap right here. Now let's go and dive right into the bag itself, inside of the bag, to talk about all of the kit that is inside. On the zipper, I have I forget what size this is, but I have an Allen wrench here that comes in handy. I usually have 2 or 3 of these in every single bag, and then one with a key ring attached to the zipper, because you never know when this will come in. This has saved me a couple of times in the field just because I needed to do something real quick, or I just needed one of these Allen wrenches. So this is a pro tip here. Take one that has a key ring and attach it to the zippers of not just this bag, any bag in general, just to have with you. And then over here I have a little carabiner, and this is just good for anything that carabiners are good for. All right, moving to the inside of the bag. Okay, you can see that this bag is stuffed to the gills. You could probably fit a couple more flat items up here in the front. So the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is my camera. This camera here is the Fujifilm X100VI. This camera is, I don't think I have to tell you much about it. It's one of the most anticipated and hyped up cameras of this previous year, and for a good reason. This camera is absolutely beautiful. It has a high megapixel count, which is why I was so attracted to this, because I love taking pictures at this focal length. I believe it's a 35mm focal length, full frame equivalent, which is just a perfect focal length for street photography in my opinion. This camera, as you may know, is a fixed focal length, meaning that you cannot change the lens on it, and that is perfect for street photography because it's my opinion that creativity thrives within limits. And this camera, having this fixed lens on it with a high megapixel count, I forget exactly, I think it's in the 40s. I'll post it right here, the actual megapixel count. The previous version only had, I think, 20 megapixels. Again, I'll link it right here. One of my favorite things to do, is particularly with this kind of focal length, is that even if you have your lens isn't long enough to reach something that you wanted to compose in your actual photograph, you're able to punch in post, which is tremendous. 45 megapixels is just a wonderful megapixel count to have on any camera body, and it's my go-to, it's my favorite megapixel count. I love cameras with a high megapixel count because I'm able to really crop in and punch in post if needed, so that I can compose a photograph or have multiple photographs coming out of the exact same photograph. This camera is an absolute beauty to shoot. It has beautiful color rendering, and it's just easy to hold. It looks cool, it's stylish, and I've paired it with a Peak Design thin strap. I went with the olive green just because I think it looks cool. And everybody gets, black or blue, but I think the green is nice and unique. It has a little bit of leather on it, so not only is it incredibly functional, but it also is a Peak Design strap on it. So this strap can go on anything that has the Peak Design anchors on it. And once you get into a specific system, it's a good idea to carry that system throughout your entire kit, just to have a cohesive and flexible gear to interchange with other gear that you may have. This is just a lovely, lovely, lovely camera. Absolutely lovely. Lastly, it has a maximum aperture of an f2, which again, beautiful, absolutely perfect with the bokeh. It's just a great camera. I couldn't recommend this camera enough. It is relatively new to me. I've had it since I think for about, I've only had this camera for a couple of months, but I've grown to really enjoy using it. I still have to use it a lot more to really get a good feel and understanding of the camera as a whole. Cameras are one of my favorite things, and I just love using them, and I love learning more about them. Every single time that I use it, I learn something new about it, and the shots that come from it are just spectacular. Really love this camera. Moving on to the next portion, another camera that I have here is another camera that broke the internet is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This little camera is absolutely fantastic for video recording and filming yourself in public. The kit itself, I forget what the kit is called, but it's the Traveler Bundle or the Creator Combo. That is the combo that I recommend for absolutely anybody. They do sell the camera all on its own, but it doesn't come with the mic, it doesn't come with the extended battery, and with the kit it'll come with a little baby tripod, which is just phenomenal. Some things that I've added to this this kit is a Arca Swiss base plate here at the bottom, and then I've gone ahead and added the other end of the base plate, the Arca Swiss base plate, to the baby tripod, which gives me the ability to then take it on and off without having to fuss with it too much. Without the Arca Swiss base plate and just the tripod, it threads in, which is fine, but I like having Arca Swiss base plate across my entire kit because I have these mounted everywhere, and then the plates mounted everywhere on my lights, on my cameras, on my accessories, because now I have an interchangeable kit that I can put this onto that tripod. I could put it onto that, everything, right? So everything is interchangeable and everything works because everything across the board is Arca Swiss. So there's another little pro tip. So back to this creator combo. So the goal for this guy is that I do want to create more content out in public. And one of the things that I was really struggling with when I just was getting started, and why I haven't made as many street photography videos as I want, is because it still bothers me a lot to film myself in public, and I get really self-conscious with that spotlight effect. So I always think that people are watching me or judging me, and I know that it's something that I have to work through and just get through all of that. But internally, it's still something that I struggle with. So having this has really allowed me to go out in public, have a mic that is already linked to it, not really concern myself with people, and the quality that comes from this thing is absolutely spectacular, especially for social media content or quick YouTube videos like this. It's just perfect for on-the-go filming, and the fact that it comes with one of the best mics on the market with a 32-bit float feature is just spectacular. This thing is fantastic. I can't speak highly enough of this DJI Osmo and how it's really transformed the way that I create content, and how it's going to continue to evolve the way that I create content out in public. And I'm going to be using this a lot moving forward. It's just a fantastic kit. So there is that. The next thing that I have is a battery pack for the Fujifilm. So this is just a case that it gives you the battery indicator for the camera, and which gives you a battery indicator, a battery level indicator for the two batteries that are inside. It also has SD slot, and you can charge you can charge 2 batteries at one time. The Fujifilm itself has a decent battery, but it isn't the biggest, and it's gonna, if you're going out for multiple hours, you're definitely gonna want to take multiple batteries with you. So this is just a simple battery case that has a couple of different functions. Highly recommend. By the way, everything that I am talking about here is linked down in the description below. Also, if you have any questions about any of the kit that I'm working with here, please ask me down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get to your questions as quickly as possible. Moving on, that's pretty much it that I have in the big bag. Moving on, I do have an ND filter, or forgive me, I do have a UV filter for the Fujifilm. This is just a simple UV filter that doesn't have any kind of features. It's just a basic UV filter. What I do carry on my camera is a, what is it? Let's see. This is a Black Diffusion 1/4 by K&F Concept. K&F Concept is my favorite brand for filters for a couple of reasons. One, they're very budget friendly, and they work. Moving on, I also have some ND filters for my DJI Osmo. These are just magnetic filters that fit onto the lens of the DJI Osmo. In this kit, it comes with ND16, ND64, and ND256, as well as a circular polarizer filter. A really nice little kit that fits right in the bag. On the camera itself, what I currently have, let me check this out. On the camera itself, I have a CPL filter as well, but this one is from K&F Concept. On the inside here, as an extra one, I do have a variable ND filter. You can see it right in here. That's from K&F as well. You might be asking why I have so many. These are magnetic. They're kind of inexpensive, and if it falls off by accident, it'll be really tough for me to notice that it fell off because it'll be gone, right, if I'm out in public. So having a backup is always good. For the bigger filters, for like a camera, that's very noticeable. I'll be able to hear it, or I'll be able to tell immediately. But the small guys, if I lose one and then I'm still recording or I'm still filming out there, it'll be a real shame to not have a backup. And they're relatively inexpensive. A couple dollars will get you a kit. Maybe 20 bucks will get you a kit that'll have you set for everything. Next to that, I have a USB-C to USB-C power cable and a 30-watt USB-C power brick. Pretty basic stuff. And then in this bag here, I have an extra wipe. Not wipe, these are the cloths that are for cleaning lenses. And then I have a backup micro SD card with an SD built in. This kind of satisfies two purposes. One is an extra one for the DJI, which has a 256 micro SD card, and then it serves a double purpose because it comes with the I forget what it's called, the little thing that makes it fit into a regular SD card in case I need a backup for the Fujifilm X100VI. What's in there is actually a 512 gigabyte SD card. So if I fill that up and I need this and I need that, I'm gone for like 2-3 days. That's a lot of shooting. So this is just for emergencies. And then the very last thing that I have in my bag is some cool shades. Can't get too many places without some cool shades. So again, just to highlight, these are the things that I'm carrying with me on a daily basis, and I've reduced all of this stuff to its smallest form factor and the least amount of gear that I can use so that I'm able to go out there, and it encourages me to shoot more, film more, create more, and in turn lets me share more with the audience, with you guys, so that you guys can come along and follow me on this journey of creating photos and creating art. Now, if you want to learn a couple of tips about street photography, I really encourage you to check out this video here. Adios.